Hey y'all, it's Naya back with another video. If you're new to my channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button before you leave. I'm gonna show y'all in this video what I take, like in terms of gigs or whatever, because I know that's like a popular thing on YouTube. I know when I was like, I'm still building my kit, but I know when I like very first started trying to put together a kit, I used to look it up all the time, like what makeup artists were using. So, or like not what they're using necessarily, but just what they had in their kit and how they were able to make a kit inexpensively, because I am 17, so I don't have, the funds to be buying a super expensive train case and, super expensive carrier bags and things like that. So my setup is very inexpensive. I say, like, I think it's very starter and beginner friendly. It's not like the prettiest setup, but it definitely gets the job done. And it holds everything that I need it to hold. So yeah, I'm gonna show y'all that. Okay, so these are the two things that I have with me. I have my newer ring light and my suitcase. Now the suitcase is what I use to carry all my makeup in. Like I said, I don't have like an expensive train case or anything. I just really use the suitcase, and honestly it works perfectly fine. Would I like to upgrade? Yes, but is it necessary for me to upgrade? No. Like I said, it does the job perfectly fine. I use a ring light because you don't always know what your lighting situation will be. A lot of times you'll have to use natural lighting, which if you're in an awkward position and wherever you are, it's not always good. Sometimes things happen at night where, the only lighting that you have is like artificial lighting, and sometimes the lighting is not good. So it's best to just have a light. Obviously, it's not something that you would 100% need, I would say, but I do think it makes it a whole lot easier to do your job. So yeah, if you can get a ring light, I definitely recommend it. The link to this ring light down below. I leave the link for my ring light on all my videos, honestly, but I will leave it down below. And in the suitcase, I'm gonna open it up and show you what I have in the suitcase. So in this first compartment, I just have my palettes. In here, I just have the Meet Matrimony, a glow kit, the Master palette, and in here I have two Morphe palettes. I have the Morphe 35B as well as the Morphe 35O. I recommend every time you go like to do a gig, I recommend you ask what kind of looks are going to be asked of you, because for this particular gig I have, they said it's going to be mostly natural looks, so I only brought one colorful palette, and I doubt I'm even going to have to use it. I just brought it just in case, because I like to be, I like to be prepared just in case. And then in here, I just have a blush palette as well as a contour palette. I like to keep my palettes on the outside because they're big and they're bulky and they take up a lot of space. So as you can see, I only needed these two compartments for my palettes, and that's it. So now if you open it up, you'll see there's like a net on top and then this section on the bottom. Now keep in mind, I have not cleaned anything yet, which is why things look dirty, and that's because they are, because I have not cleaned anything yet. I just threw everything in here so that I could pack it up, and I'm gonna clean it later before I go tomorrow. So yeah, don't mind anything that's dirty, because like I said, it is. So in this net, I usually just keep moisturizer. What is this? This is my MAC Pro palette. In there I have some lipsticks as well as a cream foundation. Here is my mixing palette, which obviously has been used and is not cleaned yet. Here I just have makeup sponges. I like to use this, like these are the disposable sponges. I don't like to use like real technique sponges or beauty blenders, because I just feel like, one, it's kind of difficult to get a sponge completely clean because it is a sponge and it absorbs anything you put on it. So I like to use the disposable ones because I just feel like they're more hygienic and they're also a lot cheaper. So here's that. Here I just have a little cloth that I use to like quick clean my brushes on, which needs to be cleaned as well. In this spray bottle I have some alcohol, which is necessary for cleaning your powder products. Here I just have a puff. I like to use this like on my hand here to avoid smudging any face makeup while I'm doing eyes. Back here I have Q-tips. This is makeup remover. This is contact solution in case any of my gel or pomade kind of products get dry, contact solution will moisten them back up. Here I have quick change brush cleaner, and you can't see it, but back here I just have some water in a spray bottle, and I use that to moisten up any sponge or to set down some powder or whatever. So now moving on to this big compartment here. Okay, so into the main compartment. First, we're going to start out with the brushes. My brushes are dirty. Like I said, I didn't have time to clean everything last night. So yeah, usually my brushes go in here, which this also needs to be cleaned. This is my Morphe 22 slot brush holder. If they still have this on the website, I will link it down below. I think a brush holder is very, very necessary. So yeah, the only reason my brushes aren't in there is because the brushes as well as the holder need to be cleaned. So my method, since like I said, I don't have an expensive train case, is to just honestly put everything into these little bags. So I'm not going to take them out in any order. I'm just going to take them out, you know, as they come up. So the first one here, this bag, I have no idea. This bag was given to me, so I don't know where it came from, but in this bag I just have my single powders. So I have some pressed powders, blushes, and some highlights over here. And these I just like to bring because sometimes, I don't know if you guys notice this, but I notice that a lot of times palettes, like blush palettes, highlight palettes, contour palettes, are not always that good. And even if they are, they don't always have the color that you want. So I just like to bring some of my favorite singles. I have a Milani blush, a CoverGirl blush. In terms of highlighters, I have a ColourPop highlight, Dose of Colors, and on the bottom there is a Kylie Jenner highlight. And here, right here, is a pressed powder, and these are also pressed powders. So the next bag is my face products. I just have foundations and concealers. I like the Maybelline Fit Me foundations, and I also like the Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse. So yeah, concealers, I like the LA Girl concealers. I try not to use these that much because they are very thick. I definitely prefer, even though they're okay, I like them, but I definitely prefer thinner concealers because, I don't know, I like celebrity artist style makeup. Like, I don't like makeup that looks like it's been caked on. I like makeup that looks like the client isn't wearing any. So yeah, I definitely prefer thinner concealers. So I have some here. I have a ColourPop contour stick. I have a Black Opal foundation stick, which I like this, but it does have SPF in it, so I try not to use it in a situation where there's going to be flash photography taken. And I have a illuminating primer there. This next one has lashes in it, which I need more. I just have some individuals and lash glues and just 2 pairs of lashes in there. Very simple. This bag, which I would not recommend to buy cloth bags because as you can see they get dirty. But in here I have all of my eyeliners, primers, and brow products. So I just have mascaras, lip liners, eyeliners, eyebrow pomades, primers. I like to keep the sample sizes in here because it just doesn't take up as much space as like a full size would. Some more eyeliners and lip pencils, eye pencils. Okay, so this next bag here is just a recycled bag from MAC. Some brushes that I have came in this brush, and what I keep in here, like I said, I don't recommend cloth, but it is cheaper to just reuse bags. So in here I just keep my tools. So I have a sharpener, my spatula, which needs to be clean. Like I said, things are not clean. I have these little scissors. I use these to typically cut eyelashes. I have hair clips in here because a lot of times people need their hair pinned back so I can get to their face, like if they have bangs or for example. And tweezers to help me apply lashes in case I need those. There's also a couple bobby pins at the bottom, and I have this dotting tool. Like for example, if somebody's lash is lifting and I don't want to take off the entire lash, I'll just use the dotting tool and put some lash glue where it needs it and use that. So yeah, that's pretty much all this bag consists of. Bag in here is my pigments, glitters, and rhinestones. This bag doesn't get used that much, and I don't think it'll get used much tomorrow because like I said, this fashion show, they want me to do very simple natural kind of makeup, so I'm not really probably not gonna have to use this, but I like to bring it just in case, because sometimes, you know, things might switch up, things might change. Like I said, I don't recommend getting cloth bags. As you can tell, most of my bags are plastic because plastic just stays a lot cleaner and it is easier to clean. So yeah, this bag, the zipper on this bag broke, but I mean, nothing ever spills out of it, so it's fine. I do recommend having something to clean up your trash, and I just keep this little, what is this called? This little, I think this is like a pencil holder, but yeah, I just keep that. And I usually put it on the side, and I'll just put my disposable mascara wands, any wipes, cotton balls, cotton swabs, things like that in there. So this next bag is full of lip products. I have lots of lip glosses and little lipsticks in here. I have some Kylie Jenner, some ColourPop, some Colored Rain, Anastasia Beverly Hills, NYX, Too Faced, Kat Von D. What's happening? I have some CoverGirl, some Gerard Cosmetics, Elf, Milani, Sephora. Yeah, I just have different lip products in here. Products, you want to make sure that you're not using the actual applicator on your clients. You want to make sure that you are either putting it on the back of your hand or onto a palette and using a lip brush. And if you don't have any lip brushes, you could get disposable lip brushes where you could just find like the little disposable ones and stick those in there. And if you do get disposable lip brushes, please be sure to not double dip. But I just find it's much easier to just put the product onto the back of my hand or a palette and use a lip brush. Last thing in here, this is a caboodle, and this is hard. I think it's probably made out of like cardboard or something. Honestly, I have no idea what this is made out of, but it's hard. This caboodle, I just keep things that are either likely to break or likely to spill. So I have my loose powders in here. I have the Coty Airspun powder, and I have 2 Black Opal Deluxe finishing powders. I have dark and I have medium, and I have my Becca highlight because this highlight is very soft, and so it is very easy to shatter it, which is why I keep it in here. And I also have my Sleek contour palette because that is also very soft, and I have dropped it a couple times, and so it is kind of shattered. So just to avoid any messes, I like to keep those kind of products in here where this is hard, so that, you know, I just feel like it's less likely for anything to break. And last but not least, you want to keep disposable mascara wands. These are essential. You do not want to put the mascara wand that comes in the mascara on every client. That is how you get infections. That's not, you do not want to do that. So I definitely recommend to have disposable mascara wands. These are mandatory, I would say. Obviously my bag is kind of beat up on the outside, but these are definitely mandatory, whereas the disposable lip brushes I feel like are not mandatory, just because you can use lip brushes and, you know, obviously use a different lip brush for each client, but I feel like disposable mascara ones are 100% mandatory. So yeah, I'm just going to put everything back in here. Okay, so this is pretty much just another overview of everything that I take with me. Keep in mind the palettes are on the other side, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, everything is definitely not clean. Things still need to be cleaned. I just didn't have time to clean them before I packed everything up. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as to follow me on all my social media, which I will leave down below. And I will see you in my next video.